Paul, well, great to catch up with you for the first time since that sensational NBL season win, really. What were your feelings, especially with that semi-final over the Saints?
The feelings were, mixed emotions, happy, proud, a little bit of sadness mixed in there as well, just with the week that my wife and her family had. Right. So it was just, everything was going on. So, but to be able to, perform so well and do it for 2 games, I'm extremely proud of the guys and the way they played. Not too many people gave us too much of a chance, especially against Wellington. But as a group, we fully believed in ourselves, and we came out and got the job done. Did
the low expectations actually help the team though, when that weight's not on your shoulders?
No, it doesn't make a difference really, because we had expectations on ourselves. We had very high expectations on ourselves. So, we don't pay any attention to external factors, motivating factors, or expectations and things like that. We just focus on our inner group and what we believe in and what we are trying to achieve. And I think that put us in a good place to be able to perform the way we did for 2 games.
81-66 in that Saints game, but the Giants game was a bit closer, a bit more of a nail biter. Can I ask you what your expectations were at the beginning of the season? Now, did you have a plan to progress that far? Did you think you'd actually cover that much distance in the NBL in your first season with the Sharks?
Oh, look, to be completely honest, my expectations were to just come in and make a difference, make a positive change in the way the organisation did things and the way the team performed and trained. I'm a big believer in putting, the work in, through the off-season and on the practice floor to be able to get your results, and building a culture that would support those positive changes. And, that was my main goal. As a competitor, every time I compete in anything, I want to win, and that doesn't change. It's just me as a person and who I am. I want to win everything, every single time. But being realistic, it's just life. You don't get to win everything. So I guess a little bit of both. I wasn't coming to Southland to win a championship in the first year, but I wanted to. If that sort of makes sense. It's a bit of a process, and I think. That process was, probably a little more speedy than I expected. But, partway through the year, I sort of realised that we had a bit of a good thing going. I thought we had a special group. I thought we had a good mix of youth and experience, mixed in with some talent as well. And the belief in the group was really strong right from the beginning. So the longer the season went on, I did truly believe that we could win the championship. But it wasn't as though we sort of started talking about, hey, look, we can win this thing. We were really focused on the process, getting better, building that culture and expectations on ourselves, and trying to get results along the way.
And don't the Southlanders love a winning side? You really carried the region along with you on your shoulders, didn't you? It was quite incredible, that welcome back the team got, that unfortunately you couldn't be part of, but quite amazing, that reception at the airport.
Oh, just, everyone I spoke to on the team that they got to experience that awesome welcome home by the fans and the Southland public was, so positive that the guys were just blown away, really, the reception that they got. And it just, it does go to show the pride that Southland has taken, and whatever Southland is achieving. And, that was really special to be a part of. A shame I couldn't be there for it, but, unfortunately it was the nature of the business I'm in. But the whole way through the season, you could feel, the community getting in behind us. The crowd numbers were, they steadily increased throughout the season, culminating in the sellout game against Otago. So there were so many great things that we were able to achieve as a team and as an organisation this year. It's something I'm very, very proud of.
Before we get on to your role as assistant coach of the Tall Blacks, are you already casting your mind? I know you've got a lot on towards next year for the NBL, and what you will be up to down here with the player stocks and that sort of thing.
Always looking forward. It wasn't too long after we won the championship where I was, talking to the board, talking to the management staff, and to the team about how we do things better next year. again, that's just me as a person, my type of personality. I want to do it again. You know, we can win it in the first year. There's absolutely no reason why we can't win it in the second year. But, and it's a big but, you know, we're going to have a big target on our backs. You know, we've still got to get. You know, we can't get complacent, and I think that's always a worry, especially with sporting teams that have you know, accelerated success in such a short time. So you know, I'm looking at ways to get better. I'm imploring the board and the Sharks organisation to look at where we can improve as a club, because you know, winning it is great. Doing it again is even better, but at the same time, it's a lot harder. So. You know, I've started talking to players. You know, there is a long way to go, so you know, a lot of the guys aren't really looking that far ahead just yet. But it's about sort of, you know, making contact with the guys that we had on the squad this year, and just seeing what their plans are, and letting it play out a little bit.
And now the Tall Blacks in China, an interesting trip, mixed results. What are your feelings?
Very successful trip. You know, we started off with the 2 games against the Chinese national team. The first game we played well for about you know, a good half, and then we got overrun. The second game, you know, I can say it with freedom here because there's no repercussions, but we just got straight out cheated by the referees. We should have won that game, losing by 1 point. So you know, that's pretty good. They had their full team. They were on their way to the Asian champs, and for such a young group to be able to compete at that level on their home floor was pretty outstanding, really. I mean, it probably sounds like sour grapes, but it's pretty hard to explain the level of we'll say cheating that goes on from the officiating, from the local refs. There's a lot of pressure on the Chinese national team to succeed, and so I do think there's you know, from the experiences I've had in playing there, and obviously being there as a coach now and seeing it firsthand, the way they go about it. So, but the boys responded really well. Then we went into our 2 tournaments against the Cameroon national team, a club team from Canada, and one of the Chinese CBA club teams who are a very strong team. And from those 2 tournaments and those 6 games, we won 5, losing 1 game against the Cameroon national team in the second tournament. So again, you know, amazing and great results, and we were able to win the first tournament by winning all 3 games. And you know, it was great. It was a great experience for the young guys, and good for our team to be able to, I guess, realise that we can compete, even if we are, so-called undermanned. And
I mean, all good preparation for the onslaught that begins this week. In fact, on Wednesday night. What are your thoughts on the Boomers, and where can this tournament lead us?
Yeah, good preparation for the series, but I almost wish that that we played Aussie last Wednesday instead of this Wednesday. There's something about being battle hardened, you know, when you're competing, you know, day to day. Even though it was a long and grueling tour, you build up a reasonable level of toughness about you. You get used to playing, you get used to the grind and the physicality and, you know, recovery and all that type of thing. You know, we came home, we had 4 days off, and we've just had 3 days of training camp. And to be honest, the training camp has been a little bit lackluster in terms of the energy levels, and, you know, just sort of trying to get back to that level where we were a week and a half ago. And it doesn't sound like a long time, you know. From the tournament in China was probably less than a week and a half ago, but you do lose the edge a little bit. So between now and Wednesday night, we've got to find it on the practice floor, because we know whenever we play the Aussies, it's a whole nother level. You know, they'll be better than any of the teams that we played in China. They'll be more competitive, they'll be more hungry and aggressive, and so for us, we've got to raise that intensity level to have a chance.